A unique experiment initiated by the Natal Off-Road Motor Club and the sponsors of the event, Nissan, gave city slickers an opportunity to see off-road cars and their heroes up close. A highly successful event to kick off the 2001 Nissan Sugarbelt 400. The sugarcane farming community of Eston in KwaZulu-Natal annually hosts an important round of the MSA Off-Road Championship, the Sugarbelt 400. This year sponsored for the first time by Nissan. The Eston Beaumont Farmers Club was transformed from its normally peaceful existence into a hybrid activity when the off-road fraternity arrived on the scene. 40 special vehicle and 52 production vehicle entries made their annual pilgrimage to KwaZulu-Natal to take on the notoriously tough Nissan Sugarbelt 400. Fast, slippery roads through the sugarcane fields and rough and twisty sections through the forest are prominent features of the event that has made it a true test of man and machine in past years. Rain during the week before the event brought an added dimension that would make matters even worse for the drivers. Back-to-back wins in the first two events of the season see the Chepex at the top of the championship log, with reigning Class B champion Hill now 28 points behind in second.
The championship battle definitely starting hot up. We've won the first two races of the year so far, but there's a lot of newcomers. There's Atang with his new car, there's Shamir with a new car, there's Gary with a new car has been driven by Brandon at the moment, and Bevan in a new car. So we'll see what happens.
Shumi van Vieren tops the production vehicle drivers championship after two Class D wins this season, while Richard Leake is the leading co-driver. But the real battle is still to come.
So the championship is hotting up. We've had two races already, and there's basically 6 points in the championship. I'm lying second to Hannes by 1 point, and this event's quite tough. So I think it's going to be very interesting, and I think that lots of things will change before the end of the year.
A 39-kilometer time trial to determine the starting order for Saturday's main event got proceedings underway. Mitsubishi Barberspan 500 winners, Hannes Grobler and Richard Leake, promptly grabbed pole position in the Nissan Hardbody Super Truck and were followed by former special vehicle champions Franz Czepek Sr. and Jr. in the Porsche-powered V-Motors Chenoweth, who were only 18 seconds slower than the Nissan. Herod and Lawrence Duplessis can always be counted on to qualify well, and so they did when they posted the third fastest time, only 1 second ahead of multiple touring car champion Fernil de Villiers and Francois Jordan in the Nissan Hardbody Super Truck. Henry Kirstein and René Riester powered the D Drilling Services Raceco, which was driven by Bevan Berthold last year, to the 5th fastest time. Reigning special vehicle drivers champion Shamir Bariawa had ironed out all the problems on his new Cornbake Foods Jimco after a non-finish in the Mitsubishi Barberspan 500 and posted the 6th fastest time. Cyril van der Merwe and Scott Abraham lost valuable time when they were held up by a slower Class D Nissan. They lost more time when the front ground wheel and pinion on the Vacation Van's Jeep destroyed itself, forcing them to run into two-wheel drive for the rest of the time trial. The A-arm suspension Carbonong Jimco took a bit of getting used to, but John Weir-Smith and Jeff Minute were nevertheless happy with the 8th fastest time. 9th was reigning special vehicle co-drivers champion Bucks Carolyn, now in the driving seat of the Dakar Mitsubishi Pajero. Peter Maritzburg businessman Gavin Gray and Graham Cunningham were the leading Class B contenders and rounded out the top 10. Brandon Harkis and Billy Bond appeared on the scene with a brand new South African designed and built Prolong Special, which had experienced some teething problems in the time trial. Hard at work on the vehicle was Brandon's father, Arthur, himself an off-road racer of note in years gone by.
I think a little bit more testing would have helped quite a lot, but there was no time, so Brandon just brought it out. Prolongs insisted that the car was here, and Billy Bond, the co-driver, and but I think so far it's going well. There's one or two little problems. Latest design with mid-engine A-arm front suspension, what I've said to these guys 10 years ago, that this would work really well. And so far it looks like it's pretty good. Nick Hurster built the car, and Brandon gave me all the information and design and brought all most of the stuff from America and put it together. I just helped Brandon in my spare time. And we'll see how it goes from here.
Cliff Eichelt and co-driver Vic Camper had some problems with their newly acquired N1 4x4 Pajero.
Clean off. Have you got a spare, Steve?
Yes?
Have you got a spare?
I've got one, yeah.
You sure?
Thank you. Yes.
Okay, if you haven't got, come across.
Thanks, Kenny. Thanks very much.
This car, the back is hard. As soon as you hit something, it bounces the back up, but it's hard.
Okay, soften the bump, and that will make it more comfortable on the bumps.
On the canister?
Yeah.
Anti-clockwise?
Anti-clockwise.
How far? How many clicks?
Well, let's see
about
where
halfway.
Let's sit halfway now.
It's halfway now, so I'll open up another 7 clicks.
Okay, on that
Will be fine.
only one of the ways. Yeah.
Ignition problems on the M&E Glass Raceco are father and son team Bodo and Gary Berthold.
Sure. But what I'm saying, if we can get the points condenser working.
Ready? Let's try that, okay?
Let's put this.
Get to the quote.
You got the test out there. Front to test it.
I've tested it.
No, which was which?
Here's the green line. Put the green line. Over there, take that off.
So Gary, with the points condenser, that symptom would have been a normal condenser problem.
We seem to have a bit of a problem. It's with the electronic ignition. The CDI unit packed up. So we've just changed over to a manual condenser and point system again, which is run on the Porsche engine. We're trying to set the point gap now to make sure that we get rid of the misfire. So we had a bit of a rough time trial, spent quite a lot of time rewiring the car from electronic ignition to the manual ignition. But hopefully we get it right and we should be on the road tomorrow.
Problems with the Super Pave Raceco, but Industrial Hardware's Max Moore is always around to lend a hand.
Normal thing, you know. Okay, but if you pull it, sorry, mate. If you pull it, okay, look how it goes right over. No, shit. Yeah, caught your leg. It's not on the ball itself. Inside there. Yeah. That's for it. Yeah. Could be, eh? No, it could be on the ball itself then. It's moving too far there. This is moving too far. Yeah. At the bottom. Yeah. You can't restrict that. It's in the box. Oh, that's I think it's here. I think I must just take that lot apart and have a check. Right?
Drama in the vacation van's Jeep camp. The front ground wheel and pinion was irreparably damaged in the time trial, and Supervan and Stratford Fürth would be forced to run in two-wheel drive on the Saturday.
We lost the front diff halfway, or probably three-quarter way through the seating stage. And unfortunately, we haven't got any parts, but that means we're going to do a two-wheel drive run tomorrow. And the car's big enough as it is, so it's going to be quite tight in the sugarcane and also the forest. It's going to be a busy day, I think.
Disaster 2 for Atang Makakaneni and Evan Hutchinson, who would start from 74th place.
Yeah. Well, it's a little bit more difficult than that because it's a double distributor and it fits in there. And it doesn't fit in here.
We're second in the championship in our class, tied with Greg Harvey. So we're in a very good position, given the unfortunate situation that we're in today. We'll most probably start in the same position we were in the last race. And it's to be an uphill battle right to the end tomorrow.
Apart from the two super trucks, Nissan also campaigns a number of Class D hard bodies. Touring car driver Duncan Foss found himself with a new, rather animated co-driver.
It's the most fun I've had sitting in a car for I don't know when. Duncan's a phenomenal driver, and we really had it together. I was calling him at the right places, he was turning in at the right time. And then in the sugarcane, just got it a bit too, the back out, sliding out on the left, and it swung us right into the sugarcane. Slight incline, and the fuel wouldn't get through to the motor. As soon as somebody pulled us out, we were fine, but a lot of pushing. I've never been so tired, but great fun. It really was.
So there you have the top 10 starters for Saturday's main event. 4 production vehicles and 6 special vehicles dominated the top placings, with first and 10th separated by 1 minute 46 seconds. Crews woke up to a cold, misty morning, which guaranteed that visibility would be a huge problem in the early part of the Nissan Sugarbelt 400. Frantic last-minute preparations and friendly smiles only served to mask the pre-race tension. How did some of the main contenders feel about the challenge ahead?
I think it's going to be hard up front, and we're going to have a big fight. So all the big guys are here. So especially in the morning with the mist and the dust, so I think we're going to have a big battle.
Yeah, unfortunately, yesterday on the time trial, the rear springs did sag, and we changed it to a new set, and it broke in the eye. So between the two packs, we built one pack, so you're just simply going to nurse the car home.
Actually, we were held up with this Sandmaster, and at one stage we overshoot. And, you know, with a short time trial like this, you always try to make up time. And the last section here was very tight, and I get cross with my steering wheel because it turns too slow. And then I also tried to make up time, and I made a balls up are rolling in front of the spectators. But anyway, the car didn't get any, there's no damage on the car. It's only cosmetic, so we'll give it a go today.
We're learning how to drive the car. It's taken us quite a few months to get the car right. I think we've done it now. There's a lot of pressure out there. A lot of guys are throwing a lot of money at the sport at the moment, and we're just hoping to get a good result today.
We did some testing after Bauspun, got the car right. We're ready to go now, and that's it.
Almost time for proceedings to get underway.
With this type of roads to the sugar canes, there's lots of grass, and they've cut some of the grass. It's very, very slippy, especially early in the morning and with the mist there. And but some of the sandmasters are very close to me, so I just hope they've also got brakes when I'm braking in the front. But it puts a lot of pressure on you if you're in the front and try to stay there, because you don't know where the other guys are behind you.
400 kilometers of the toughest off-road terrain. Fast sections through the sugarcane fields interspersed with tight, rough and slippery forest roads. Hannes